Here's a few things that I made my family of 6 this week as someone who likes to avoid processed food as much as possible. But as always, it's progress, not perfection here. I always make some sort of sweet treat in the week, and this week it was mini egg cookies. It's basically my chocolate chip recipe, but with mini eggs in. I always brown my butter because it gives a nice nutty flavour, and I also use a combination of bread flour and plain flour because it gives it more of a chew. I use my ice cream scoop to portion them out because I wanted absolutely massive ones, so that was the perfect size. If you want the mini eggs to show on top of the cookies, you just need to put some of them on the top just before they go into the fridge. Popping them in the fridge half an hour prior to baking means that they don't spread quite as much and it improves the flavour. I have to say they were absolutely delicious. I always make pesto because it's a really easy win. I didn't have enough pine nuts, so I used a combination of pistachio and pine nuts. Walnut nuts are actually my favourite though. I use the stalks and everything. It's just basil, olive oil, parmesan, garlic, a squeeze of lemon, plenty of seasoning, and you're good to go. I didn't even bother toasting the nuts and it still turned out great. Just blitz it to your desired consistency and then season to taste. I cured a salmon that had been in my freezer since Christmas just with equal parts salt and sugar. I just made it really, really simple and into my fridge for 24 hours covered. Freezing it for at least a week prior to curing should remove all the harmful stuff like parasites. Allegedly. I mean, it's always been okay for us, but you know. If ever we need bread quickly and I don't have time for sourdough, I just whip up my basic bread recipe. It's at the top of my page and it is really, really good. There's been loads of good feedback from it. It is a high hydration dough, so it may well be a bit sticky, and that is okay. It just makes it really nice and fluffy. As you can see, it is a sticky dough. Just flour your hands. That's a really good tip, and flour your surface. You can always add more flour at shaping as well, but it turns out so great every time. It's really tasty, really fluffy on the inside. If you don't have a Dutch oven, you can use a casserole dish. I've used that before and it's turned out absolutely fine. In fact, it's what I used to bake in and it's just so nice. I've been experimenting with different sorts of milks and I've tried this one a lot. Oat milk can end up really slimy, so here are my tips. It's a 2-to-1 ratio of oats to water. The water needs to be really, really cold. Add a little bit of olive oil and some dates. Blitz it for 30 seconds only. And when you're straining it, do not squeeze the bag or the muslin, otherwise it will go slimy. Everyone rejected the porridge I made one morning, so I decided to whip up a batch of cookies. I just slung a load of stuff in there, to be honest with you. Butter, nuts, sugar, vanilla, flour, desiccated coconuts and cocoa powder, some seeds for health purposes obviously. Didn't have any eggs, so I didn't put those in. I just mixed it up, put it onto a lined baking tray into the oven for about 14 minutes, and they turned out really nicely. They did puff up, so I just pushed them down and they were a perfect little cookie. Homemade pitters are just so much better than the ones you buy in the shop, so I whipped up some of those. You just knead it for around 5 minutes. You should do it for 8 to 10, but I never do. Leave it to prove until it's doubled in size and then onto a surface, and then you just measure out 8 I had for these, but they were quite big ones. You could make less if you wanted. You just need to fold all the corners into the middle, turn it over and then roll it lightly, and that gives you the pocket in the middle. I rest before rolling out and then into a really hot oven for around 7 minutes. The full recipe is on my page. Thank you so much for watching. Any recipes you'd like, let me know.